Boom, shaka, laka, boom. Strap in, buckle up, hold on. It's your daily dose of reality radio. I feel like I've been shot out of a cannon this morning after a few unplanned days off, after a chaotic weekend. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, and I am, due to no lack of effort from the left-wing terrorists, I am live here this morning in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi Studios at 103.9 FM WYAB Boulevard. Streaming worldwide in stunning HD at Save JXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And then we are also on the Rumble in the jungle, on Rumble at Clay Edwards Show. Of course, if you miss any of this, you can always check out the podcast-only version. That's the audio only at Clay Edwards Show. At Clay Edwards Show across Apple, Spotify, Podbean, and anywhere else you may consume audio podcasts. It's even up on Audible, Amazon Music, all these places. It blows my mind. I stumble across my show on different platforms. It goes to hundreds and hundreds of different random podcast platforms. I don't know if I get money for those. Anyway, neither here nor there. I am live this morning after a few unplanned days off. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Traffic was brisk this morning. The government shutdown seems to be assisting traffic a little bit in Jackson. I've noticed coming in on 220 around 6 a.m. that it is pretty brisk over the last few weeks. And, you know, hey, I'll take it. Doesn't affect me one way or another. Let's see here. Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Mazda of Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. No phone calls until the next segment. I'll open the phone calls up then. Let's see. I want to thank Chip Matthews and Chris Hinkle for filling in for me over the last couple of days on Friday and then again yesterday. Like I said, unplanned. We lost my best friend Thursday, man. Completely out of the blue. Didn't see it coming. Wasn't but 48 years old. And I mean, I was just gobsmacked. And it would not have been a good show Friday. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I know people say, oh man, tough up. Brett Favre went and played a football game right after his dad died. And look, I get it. And everybody deals with grief differently. You know, I think it's one thing to go out there and get to have a physical. I worked out like a madman, so I could see where football would be an easier outlet than a talk radio show, as far as channeling your grief and channeling your anger into something physical. But having to do something mental, like talk and make sense for a couple of hours, I don't know that Friday would have been a very good show for anybody. So, and then of course the funeral was yesterday. Right about time the show, I just wouldn't have had time to do the show and get to the funeral. So, and I spoke at the funeral for the first time ever. I've never spoke at a funeral, and you know, of course, I was just big crocodile tears up there, you know, trying to talk and tell the story. And I guess I'd held them in all weekend, and you know, it really hit me that we had lost Corey. My friend's name was Corey McDonald, for those that don't know, and it really hit me hard that we had lost Corey, and it really hit me Saturday night. You know, I know everybody's seen the video. The gas station incident. We'll get to that in some form, fashion, or another this morning. I don't want to give dude too much attention, but we'll make fun of him for a minute. But normally when I have incidents like that in my life, the first person I call is not my dad, you know, not my sister, not anybody else. First person I call is my buddy Corey, and we would go play by play. He would have already seen it before I could have even gotten home. He's just good like that, and he'd have said, "F that MFer." And you know, built me up and gave me all my confidence in the world. Convinced me I was right, no matter how wrong I was. And he was my biggest supporter, my biggest fan for sure. And you know, I picked up the phone and it hit me. He's not there. And I told that story at the funeral yesterday, and it hit hard then as well. You know, when it hits you and you realize, oh crap, man, that they're not there. You don't know when that's going to hit you when you lose somebody close. And that was when it really hit me Saturday night, and which made the whole thing all the more aggravating, dealing with that on top of the weekend that I'd had leading up to it. And, it is what it is. This is a big boy job. I'm a big boy. I got big boots, and I ain't afraid of none of it. But it doesn't make it any less taxing on you when you're dealing with real life stuff and you got to deal with Foot Locker Employee of the Month clowns, trying to do things for clicks and views. But hey, again, I signed up for this, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing a damn thing I do. If anybody thinks that I'm going to cower in fear, tweak anything, change anything, you ain't been paying attention. Clay Edwards ain't changing nothing. None. As a matter of fact, you know what? Maybe I do change some things. Maybe I go harder. Maybe I go just a little harder. Maybe I can get this gas pedal pressed down just a little bit more. I ain't backing down. They are going to have to kill me. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's what they're going to have to do. I'm not stopping. Man, if I stopped today, do you think that they would stop? Real talk. If I stopped doing all this today, do you think for 1 second these left-wing nut jobs, these black-for-a-living clowns, these attention-seeking garden tools would stop? No, because there's still nobody more famous than me on this side of the aisle in central Mississippi. I'll always be a trophy to them. So, with that said, I got too much skin in the game to stop. It wouldn't do me any good to stop. So, we ain't going to stop. We're going to keep going. That's what we do. That's what I do. That's what I was taught to do. What I was raised to do. We'll never quit. We're going to continue to mock and meme these leftists until they cry, and then we're going to mock and meme them for crying. We're going to continue to make fun of and point out that the overwhelming majority of these folks getting arrested around here got 4 or more vowels in their names. We're going to continue to highlight and talk about the fact that none of these fools got any daddies. We're going to continue to highlight and talk about the fact that they all look the same. Every time you go to one of the news channels, I don't mean identical look the same. I mean, they're all of a certain persuasion. Overwhelming majority. That's called a trend. That's called culture rot. I'm not backing down. Somebody's got to do it. Kim Wade can't do it by himself. He called in backup a few years ago. And I'm here now. So we're going to continue to call out the culture rot that destroyed our capital city and the vermin that's escaping it into the counties. We're not going to tolerate it. That's why I fight so hard against this school choice crap. I don't want the vermin from Jackson escaping and getting into Rankin and Madison County and bringing the culture rot cancer with them. No. 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 I mean, speaking of culture rot in Jackson, I don't know if y'all saw the video I posted last night. There's people literally pro-Hamas terrorists supporting thugs protesting in Jackson last night. Not Free Palestine, pro-Hamas. One of the protesters, let's just call them what they are, terrorists. One of the terrorist signs said, "Honk for Hamas." In Jackson, Mississippi. I guess you really can find it in Fondren, can't you? Because that's exactly where it was. Right there in Fondren, in front of UMC. The weird area of Jackson. Makes you wonder who was funding that. Who was funding that? Was it Rukia Lumumba? Was it Chokwe? I specifically remember them doing a similar protest last year or sometime right about the time that Israel decided to let Palestine or Gaza find out after October 7th. It was like, whoa, now, hold on now. We got to punch you in the face, but you don't get to continuously punch us in the face. You see, that's not that whole Israel-Palestine thing is not anything I've cared anything about one way or another. Don't care. I ain't got a dog in that race. But one thing I have said is when you start a fight, you don't get to dictate the terms of surrender. You don't get to dictate how much revenge the person you started the fight gets to give. Israel got blindsided by Palestine or by Hamas, whatever you want to call it. They don't get to say, okay, that's enough. That's enough. No. It's enough when we say it's enough. It was like that clown in that gas station video the other night trying to shake my hand when he realized that he done got himself punked out in his own video. I ain't shaking your hand. I ain't shaking your hand. You don't get to dictate the terms of your surrender. Screw you. Let's take a break. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back here live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios on 103.9 FM WYAB. We're so much closer to that 50,000 watt upgrade. I can taste it. I'm going to get me a big medallion made like a No Limit Soldier. It's going to say Clay 50K on it. It could say Clay 21 million because that's how many views we're up to on my Facebook page this month over the last 28 days. 21 million. Again, mess with me, I can legitimately make you famous. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, the number one morning talk show in Central Mississippi. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Here live on 103.9 FM WYAB, coming at you from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We'll tell you a little bit about them kind of as the day goes here. What I want to tell you about is the biggest party in Rankin County coming this Saturday and Sunday. The one, the only, the rock and roll legends themselves. You saw them at the Dock. You've seen them here and there at other places since then, but most of you remember them from the legendary Dock nightclub out there on the reservoir. Man, it's been over 20 years since the Dock, right at 20 years since the Dock closed. Spank the Monkey. It's a band, not a dirty thing, a band. Spank the Monkey. He's been a bad little monkey. He's going to be live at Cypress Point Resort this Saturday night. It's a full band. You got to get your tickets. You can save money buying them in advance. I think it's $15 in advance. It's going to be $20 at the door. But don't quote me on that, but there is an upcharge at the door. I don't have the whole thing in front of me, but go to Cypress Point on Facebook page, and you can find the link there, I do believe, to Eventbrite. Eventbrite servers were down yesterday due to the Amazon cloud service issue, Amazon web services issue. Took out a bunch of big websites around the globe yesterday. But with that said, none of that matters. Spank the Monkey live this Saturday night. It is going to be a shindig of all shindigs. My boy Buck Allman is participating in the Real Men Wear Pink campaign, and this is an event that he has put together to raise money for the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign this year. He's an ambassador. I couldn't be happier for him, more proud of what he's doing. I did it 2 years. For 2 years, it was hard to raise some money. It really was. I wasn't in a good financial position myself to be trying to throw events and raise money, and you got to be in a good financial position to do it. Neither here nor there. None of that matters. You're going to go. The money's going to be for a good cause. So get out there. Cypress Point Resort this Saturday night. It's the Spank the Monkey, first time ever, live at Cypress Point Resorts, the full band. Then Sunday, and I'm not sure if there's a cover charge Sunday or not, so I don't want to misquote here. I would say no, but I'm not sure. They're doing acoustic out there. So it'll be football and Spank the Monkey unplugged at Cypress Point Resort at Cameron's Garage there. So it's going to be a big old weekend. I'm going to tell you about it all week because I want to see a packed house out there Saturday night, and I will be there. People say, Clay, stop telling people where you're going to be. You got too many haters. Yeah, well, I got a lot of people that love me too. And also, I ain't going to live in fear. I told y'all, I ain't going to cower. I ain't going to cower. You know, we're going to have some fun with this thing. What did old boy tell me? Caught you slipping. Caught you slipping. Caught you slipping, Clay. I could have busted you upside the head. I could have done this. I could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Flap your gums. That's all you did. So never to let an opportunity go to waste. How about let's do a promo code over at buyfafo.com and save you guys some money on some shirts. How about $10 off all merchandise? $10 off. The promo code SLIPPIN without a G on the end. SLIPPIN. SLIPPIN. It's the promo code at checkout. Save $10 off all merchandise. So what I would figure out is, because you got to pay shipping, you could do multiple orders and save $5 or ish on every order after shipping. So just FYI, figure out work the system. I don't care. Work the system. But it's $10 per order you can save. If you do more than one order, you can save more money. And shout out to J-Rock. Already took advantage of it, bro. Got him one of those long sleeve Mossy Oak Bottomland camo shirts. J-Rock, I'm not even going to ship that to you, bro. I'm going to bring it to Martin's tomorrow for lunch. I'm going to bring it with me, brother. So, yeah, man, we ain't never going to miss an opportunity to take advantage of a situation around here. All right, so that's what y'all want to talk about, ain't it? That's what everybody wants me to talk about is the gas station incident. The guy caught slipping. Now, I'm not going to play it because there's a lot of cussing in it. I did think about doing a reaction video where I will play it and make a video, and I still may do that. Honestly, we were burying my best friend yesterday, and it was hard to get in a good headspace to discuss and deal with anything else. It really was. So, what I really want to do is talk about my friend. I really don't want to waste time on these low-rent people, but I'm a man of the people. We could talk about my friend in the second hour. So I gone to a birthday party at an establishment over in Ridgeland Saturday night around 7:00. Stopped by for about 30 minutes, and I decided to leave a little early. I didn't have a single drink, nothing like that. I had a little plate of food, and I decided to leave a little early when I was looking at the weather. I was like, man, that weather's coming over here from Vicksburg. I said, I want to get in front of that because I don't like driving at nighttime in the rain. Just all the headlights and the rain all hurts my eyes. I gotten old, man. And so I said, well, I needed to write the eulogy for my friend. His mother asked me to speak at his funeral, and I was honored and nervous as hell all at the same time. So y'all know I ain't been drinking much at all. Been cut way, way back, just having a few beers here and there. And I said, man, I'm going to do it old school. I'm going to have me one of those nights, man, one of those just big, ugly nights where you go home and you kind of, it's going to sound kind of bad, but you go home and you get kind of drunk. And you listen to old music and you get in your feelings and you get into a place that you really don't like to have to get into. But I needed to get into that place to write the most authentic eulogy that I could from my friend, from my brother. And so I stopped and I got me a 6-pack of Andy Gator. If there's a beer that'll do it, it's Andy Gator. On top of some of that good bourbon I got from 042 Wine and Spirits at the house, I was going to pour me a good glass of Penelope Project X there on the rocks. Or maybe some of that. I forget the other ones I got. Michael Wimberly gave me a bottle of a really good bourbon. I can't remember the name of Wellen. Is it Weller or Wellen? Something like that. Anyhow, I got some really good bourbons at the house. I was going to do that and just kind of just woosah, man, just enjoy it. Well, I go in the store, and you can see the video. I've got my back turned because, you can't not turn your back. Like, you got to check out, And I turn around, and there's a phone about 3 inches from my face. That's what you don't see in the video. So when I look startled, anybody would look startled if they turn around and there's something 2 inches from their face. It's like, what? I almost have to refocus and hone in to even see what in the hell you're talking about. And it's Weller's. Thank y'all. Thank you. It's Weller's is the liquor that I got at the house. Really, really good stuff. I hadn't even opened it yet. Or maybe I've had one sip out of it. I can't remember. I have had that Project X. So I turn around and boom, man. So I had to refocus. And so with this happening is the clown that's holding the phone, I can't quite see his face. So I don't know who it is. And then I instantaneously realize that it's a clown who is 100% doing this for clicks and views, and he is not a threat. Well, I'm worried that he's going to turn into a threat like Polo did, because he's really a studio gangster, but he's building himself up and building himself up and building himself up to convince everybody that he's a badass, that he ain't no studio gangster, that he's a real gangster. He ain't Dr. Dre. He's who's a real studio gangster? Who's a rapper that's actually killed some people and done some stuff? Puff Daddy? He's a Puff Daddy. Anyway, but I am worried that this guy's going to keep working it up and trying to build this image that he's some tough guy. And he is eventually going to have to do something stupid to prove to the internet that he's tough. Because right now, he's just a guy that kind of got punked out on his own live stream when he didn't do nothing. And he's also very scared of Halloween decorations. Yes, they're the same person. If you've watched my videos. Yes, the guy that confronted me, caught me slipping. The same guy is the guy that's in that video tonight. Rankin County. Scared of garbage bags hanging from trees. Oh, man. I re-uploaded that video, got another 1 million+ views. So if nothing else, between the video that I re-uploaded at the gas station, the meme of them thinking they made fun of me, and the re-uploading the Halloween video from a couple years ago, I made about $300 in monetization off this whole deal. So it bought my beer and got me a nice little bonus over the weekend. So I go, clicks and views, baby, clicks and views. Anyway, so I realized that who the clown is doing this. And I know maybe there's a threat, maybe there's not. I didn't feel threatened. But I also knew that to all the people who told me what they would have done, but I would have, and some of y'all would have. I know some of the people that told me what they would have done, I know you well enough to know you, in fact, would have done that. And I do believe you, in fact, would be in jail for doing it. So it's like, you got to decide. Life is full of decisions. You got to decide, do you want to go home? It's like I talk about when people get pulled over by the cops and they ain't happy with the situation. You had to make a conscious decision. Do I want to look like a tough guy on the internet? Because I knew he was live. Do I want to look like a tough guy on the internet and get violent with this guy and possibly hurt him, kill him, whatever, end up in jail? Never know what could go home. Hit him wrong in the temple. He could fall, break his neck. Anything could happen. I could get hurt. I don't want to sit there and pretend that something bad couldn't happen to me. Something bad could happen to prove what? Prove that we're tough guys to the internet? Go to jail. Or I can sit here and poke fun at the guy because I know he ain't going to do nothing. Call him a studio gangster. Continuously let him tell me he ain't going to do nothing while pretending he's going to do something. And go home and enjoy my 6-pack of beer and write my friend's eulogy. It wasn't a hard choice. Now, I know half the internet saw that, and they said, Clay, you did the right thing. At that funeral yesterday, I ran into a ton of law enforcement. Every one of them, you did the right thing. It was a tough thing to do, but legally, you did the right thing. I appreciated hearing that. And then I know there's the other half of the internet. Clay got punked out. I mean, the guy said, I ain't going to do nothing. I don't know. Y'all's idea of punked out and my idea of punked out are two different things. My idea of getting punked out is me begging him, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me, Foot Locker. Please don't hit me, Foot Locker. Don't beat me. Please save me, Foot Locker. Save me. That didn't happen. I almost didn't recognize him without his zebra stripes on. I really didn't. But I mean, that's really it. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to it than that. I mean, there's some cussing back and forth and, some semantics, but at the end of the day, that was it. My heart rate didn't even get up. I didn't even get that mad about it because I knew the person doing it ain't got that dog in him. And there's nothing to worry about. So he was doing it for clicks and views. He was trying to get me to assault him or call him the N-word. He wanted to be the victim because that's what he does. That's what this guy does. He's a professional victim. He is running a race in the oppression Olympics. Him and that crew he runs with, they all have goon squad derangement syndrome. How he hadn't ended up in jail with his two buddies, I ain't got no clue. My understanding is it could be coming. And it ain't got nothing to do with Clay Edwards. Ain't got nothing to do with what happened the other night. He did threaten Donald J. Trump on the internet the other night. And I got the audio. He said he's going to pull up on Donald Trump. Good luck with that. Good luck pulling up on Donald Trump. And the fact that you think you can pull up on Donald Trump tells me you ain't all there. You tick off. You're on the spectrum. If you think you can pull up on Donald Trump, I would almost pay for your trip because I know he's raising money to go to D.C. I would almost pay for it and fund it if he promises he's going to try to pull up on Donald Trump. But the problem with that is I don't want to be tied into it once the Secret Service does their investigation, and I don't want to be seen as funding a potential assault on the president. But what I was really funding was suicide by Secret Service. He's slow, man. I'm telling you, he's slow. Let's take a break. Come back. Phone line wide open. Mazda Jackson, 601-879-0002. The Guns of Gear text line, 769-241-1944. You want to get your super chat read? Make a super chat. I think they start at like $1.99 or $2 or $3. Make a super chat. Put some money in your boy's pocket. We'll read your chats. Get them up on the screen. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at SaveJXN on Facebook, YouTube, as well as X at SaveJXN, and then at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. What's today, man? It's Tuesday. What's for lunch over at one of my favorite establishments? How about we tell you about McBee's real quick, man. It's Tuesday. I already knew. I was just double checking. It's beef tips over rice. It's their busiest day. That's where I was at Saturday night for a birthday party out there on the patio. Did you know that you can rent the patio at McBee's for your special event or function? Did you know there was a big, huge covered patio with a massive stage at McBee's? You can hold about 150 people out there, if not more, depending on how packed you want to be. Plenty of seating. They can handle all the catering. This event was catered, and people can run open tabs and stuff like that, or run a tab, and they had servers back there bringing people their drinks and everything. They had a full band, PA, lights, the whole 9 yards, fade to blue. Great event. Please consider McBee's, the big patio there. There's plenty of parking between the parking lot around back, the closed down chicken joint next door. You got plenty of parking to fill that place up. Reach out to Michael Wimberly and his team there at McBee's and let them quote you a good rate to rent the venue there. My guess is you could probably use the space at no charge. Now, don't quote me on that, but you could probably use the space at no charge if you guarantee an X amount of people eating and drinking and paying for some entertainment. So I did a concert there a few months back and had a sellout. Everybody made money. It was a win-win situation. And it's right there in Ridgeland, so you ain't got to worry about the culture rot coming over there because most of them are scared of crossing County Line Road. So it's a nice place to do a good event, good staff, great food. I mean, look, one of my hardest battles every week is not eating lunch every day at McBee's and putting extra weight on. It's just that dang good. But if you do go by today, the Blue Plate Special is beef tips over rice. It's their number one seller as far as Blue Plate lunches go. But don't forget, the club sandwich is phenomenal, as well as the red beans and rice with country please and sausage. And, hey, if you want to stick with the Blue Plate, you can do a grilled chicken, country fried steak, or hamburger steak with the sides and all that for that special Blue Plate price. That's McBee's, Lake Harbor Drive, buzzing the Riz since 1982. All right, man. Let's do this. Let's go into the comments here on the live stream. I've been seeing some other stuff. Old Boys Fan Club is over here defending him, being tough guys. You know what? Something I find so comical about the black community, the people that they get so mad at me for highlighting the fact that there's a lot of death and violence and crime in their community. It just is. I mean, I don't curate the news. I'm not the aggregator of the news. I just go to WLBT, WAPT, WJTV, Jackson Jambalaya, Dark Horse Press, and this is just locally. Just locally. And I see the news stories. Or actually, I get a push notification from all of them except Jackson Jambalaya. I have to go to it because Kingfish, it's a blog, not a website anyway. And I just talk about the stories of what's there. I don't pick who reports the crime. But anyway, so they get mad at me for talking about the blacks committing crimes. And what is their solution to this? By threatening violence to me. We don't like you talking about us being violent, so we're going to threaten you with violence. Make it make sense. I understand at the core level, like say you won the FAFO championship and you're embarrassed because I made a video about you. What I don't understand is why you feel it in your genetics, in your genes, to need to defend Pookie that you don't even know because Pookie stole a car, ran from the cops, caused 2 people to die, or ended up in jail, or whatever else Pookie did. Why you feel it just internally that it's your what's the word I'm looking for? Your responsibility, your racial responsibility to defend Pookie from the white guy that gave him the FAFO championship. It's like, man, we want to fight you. We want to pull up on you. I mean, I'm seeing the comments here. One guy said, let me see if I can go back and find it here. He said, this is an extra layer of stupid right here. But of course, it's from somebody with a fake profile. No. This is actually a real profile. This is Tyler Wood on Facebook. We're going to make Tyler famous this morning. Tyler says, gonna be funny. He pulled back up with some real thugs and make you beg for your life in front of your KKK buddies on this page. Man, what do y'all think the KKK is? And I think it's funny too the way you said that because you're basically insinuating that he ain't no thug. He's gonna have to go get some real thugs to come back. So I appreciate you for co-signing on exactly what I said about him. Studio gangster. Gonna have to go find some real thugs to come back. Again, for what? Can somebody even tell me what it's about? Like, what is it y'all are mad about? What y'all pulling up on me for? Pulling up on that racist Clay Edwards. Like he caught me in the act being a racist. I was buying a 6-pack of beer and 2 bottles of water from an Indian dude. Being racist. You gotta pull up. Gonna pull up. Gonna go to jail. All that's gonna end right there is him and his newfound thug friends going to jail. That's it. Let's see. Let's read some more of y'all's comments here. Oh man, I'm surprised any of the thugs are up this early, to be honest. They normally sleep into about 11. I love it, man. This is good engagement for me. Y'all getting me paid this morning. Let's see. Essence Fulton on Facebook says, we don't have to be labeled as thugs because of skin color. We are human beings, meaning we don't indulge in calling cartels a thug because they push dope. We don't call whites no thugs when they out here tats all over their face, riding in all those big ass tires with their trucks sitting up in space, being in a clique as biker boys. I mean, I call them thugs. I call them white trash. I mean, that's the thing, man. Some of y'all are new here, and y'all just see these little snips on the internet of me, these little clips on the internet, and you think that that's all I talk about. And it's not. We call out everybody equal. We're equal opportunity haters here. I keep just as many white people mad at me as I do black. I really do. But it's really like this bond, this brotherhood of thuggery and trash that all come together and think they have to defend each other. Like, now, see, what y'all don't understand, there's a whole nother brotherhood of folks who are tired of having to worry about this trash every time we leave the house, who are tired of y'all being criminals, white, black, blue, green, other. Man, there's a guy sitting out in Whitfield right now, not solely because of me, but he does have charges pressed on him from me that runs around with these clowns, a white guy. There's another white guy I had to make a video about the other week. Another piece of crap, thug, white trash, that's constantly in my mentions, saying some of the nastiest, rudest things you possibly can about somebody that he's never met before, just because he don't like me calling out the thugs, and he thinks that it's going to get him some street cred, some clout with the black folks if he hates on Clay Edwards. And I don't know if he's bonded out yet or not, but apparently he can't keep his hands off of women. It's the same story, man. That's why I don't feel bad making these videos about y'all. The white guys, they always have a thing about beating on their women. I don't know what it is about white guys that want to be thugs. They like to beat on their women. And these are the same white guys that like to defend these black guys that I give these FAFO championships to for robbing, stealing, and killing. Again, I'm not out here picking on good people. I am picking on bottom-feeding trash. And the fact that offends y'all, or you feel like you need to defend it, just makes me think that you're the same thing, bottom-feeding trash. I don't defend the Pookies in my society. I give them FAFO championships. That's why we different. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is hour one here. We got about a minute left. Coming up in hour two, a total of 7 people have now died in the Leland mass shooting. A 7th person has been arrested from the Heidelberg mass shooting, all black on black, of course. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the No Kings rally, as well as Donald Trump considering commuting Puff Daddy's sentence. I think it's a massive, massive mistake. We're going to get to that, as well as a new word salad from Kamala Harris. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back on WYAB. Y'all, let's see. We got some time. How you doing? We got some time here to go through some of y'all's chats during the break here. Let me start at the most recent. Don't forget, swing by the merch shop today. I know some of y'all haters want to do it so bad. You just can't stand it. You want to be on Team Clay so bad. I know, I would too, if I wasn't me, of course. Swing by the merch shop. Man, look at that. That's the Mississippi MAGA shirt. You think that red hat used to piss them off? You roll up in Jackson with that FAFO on, and man, you're going to be the center of conversation. Every guy's going to want to be you, and every girl's going to want to be with you. Hell, some of the guys might want to be with you too, because let's just be honest, prison culture is a little gay too. So, hey, you just never know. But look, $10 off right now on all stuff there in the merch shop. Just use the promo code SLIPPIN. at checkout. That's SLIPPIN. SLIPPIN. And get you a good looking shirt. Or hey, maybe you want a cap. Maybe you actually want one of those. I got 2 of those hats left to sell. You can trigger a lib not once, but 2 times. It's a red and white hat, and it's got the Clay Edwards slogan on it. F around, find out. And it is in the cuss words there. It is not the censored version. You can get it at buyfafo.com today. That's buyfafo.com. And use the promo code at checkout, SLIPPIN, as you see on the crawl on the bottom of the screen right there. Let them know. Hey, you a supporter? Let them nuts hang, man. Let them things hang a little bit. Get that shirt. Ain't nobody going to do nothing. Ain't nobody going to do anything. Wish they were you. Well, but the worst that could happen is you take some guy's girl. When she sees you with that shirt on, she's going to know that you're just dripping testosterone. Like, man, it takes a sack to wear that shirt around here. I bet he's got a big old thing. He's a Clay Edwards fan. I might want to do a little bit of effing around and finding out. Y'all don't go nowhere, man. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. Bingo was his name. It's the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, the soon-to-be 50,000 rock and roll watts. 103.9 FM WYAB. Man, you think we're all over the place now. You just wait till we become the most, what would it be the word I'm looking for? The loudest? No. The most widespread? That works. The most powerful. That's the word I'm looking for. The most powerful non-music station in the state of Mississippi. That's right. 50,000 watts of incendiary talk power pumping across these airwaves here in Mississippi from border to border, east to west, and as far north and south as 50,000 watts will go. That will be WYAB. And, of course, hey, look, man, you can take WYAB with you anywhere, worldwide, right here in your pocket. Open up your phone to its native browser, Chrome on Galaxy and Safari on Apple. Go to WYAB.com, hit the Listen Live button, and hit save to screen, save to favorites, whatever it is you do. Add to home screen, I think is what it is on Apple. And boom, you got WYAB, the player. One click, one tap, and whatever's on the air is coming across your airwaves. It's just that simple. We don't have an app, but you don't really need one. We all podcast. We all do this. We all stream. You can find our stuff when it's not on the air. So keep it easy, keep it breezy. Go to WYAB.com and do what I just told you. Real quick, we're in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, where clearly, after reading some of my comments this morning, I could tell that some of y'all need to get out there and take advantage of the complimentary testosterone screening from Men's Health of Mississippi. Maybe my ops need to get out there and take their testosterone, get their testosterone levels checked, and maybe get on the old testosterone, because I've been seeing a lot of low T behavior. What happened at that gas station the other night? That was low T behavior. Man, we can fix that with some testosterone, bro. You could have finished the job. You was on enough testosterone, but you wasn't, so you didn't. But you can be. Text Clay to 601-800-5130, 601-800-5130, and get scheduled today for your complimentary testosterone screening, courtesy of the Clay Edwards Show. And hey, look, man, they do way more than just testosterone screenings. They can also get you hooked up on that compounded semaglutide. That's basically generic Ozempic if you need some help losing weight, keeping weight off. Your AC1 high, you battling alcoholism. It can help with alcohol cravings and more. That's Men's Health of Mississippi. They also have a women's division that can offer all of these same things and much, much more. Check them out today. Text Clay, 601-800-5130. Don't forget the merch shop. We're running a special in honor of me getting caught slipping. Promo code SLIPPIN, SLIPPIN, at buyfafo.com. $10 off any order in the website now. Buyfafo.com, promo code SLIPPIN, without a G on the end. Slippin'. Caught you slipping. Caught you slipping. Speaking of which, We got Andrew Gosser here in the studio with me this morning. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
Dude, I feel great.
Good. You're looking good, man. You look like you're feeling good.
You know, coming back from Spain, it did a world of good, and it was interesting to unplug a little bit, kind of see different culture, see a different lifestyle, and then come back and hit the grind.
Yeah. Well, good. But I appreciate you filling in for that third hour yesterday.
No problem, man.
It helped me out a ton.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, man, let's pivot a little bit. I've been kind of talking about personal stuff and drama and whatnot for the last hour. I want to shift gears for the people who don't care about all that, if they're still listening. Donald Trump is about to make a big mistake, in my opinion, if true.
Okay.
If true. Let me pull this up here real quick. Rumors are circulating that he is considering let's see. Let me just read it. This is from Rawls Alert, and it's all over the place. Mm-hmm. It says, according to TMZ, a high-ranking White House official says Donald Trump is considering commuting the sentence of Sean P. Diddy Combs as early as this week.
Holy smoke.
TMZ reports that this consideration is ongoing, and while there is no formal announcement, key staffers reportedly are advising against the commutation. And look, man, I'll say this. I understand what Trump has done in the past with trying to basically prove to the black folks that he will let these high-profile blacks out of jail to try to pander to the blacks a little bit. Like, y'all please like me. Y'all please like me. And I'm 100% against this, especially for what he did. And let's be honest, he's guilty of those other crimes, but the feds did such a terrible job prosecuting it that they actually fired the prosecutor, who it was somebody's daughter.
Comey's daughter.
It was Comey's daughter. Yeah. So let's be honest.
Can't make it up.
Yeah, the fix was in. The fix was
certainly in. And, you know, so whenever Trump does something that is so blatantly wrong, that all my spidey senses start kicking off and everything, I'm trying to, get to the next level and what it is and why he would do this. I don't think he would do this normally. The only way I could see him doing this is if they're trying to get something else out and there's just blocks and traps in the way, and he's like, the only way to do it is to do this. Then I could see him doing it. He's definitely got enough testosterone to pull this off if he decides that that's what's the best way to go. But I don't want Diddy pardoned. I want him to feel the full weight and effect of our justice system as much as I want Epstein to. So,
I mean, I still ain't forgot Diddy telling everybody vote or die when it was voting for Obama.
Yep.
You know, and all the things he said about Trump over the years. Man, let these people left around and find out. They don't need to. No, you made your bed. Sleep in it. Actually, sleep in it for once without any Vaseline on, baby oil, whatever it is.
Yeah, but the whole thing with that is we definitely have to hold them accountable, but at the same time, I try not to go down that super vindictive route. It is easy and it does feel good, and I'm not like chastising anybody for not, but just with me and how I am now, I've definitely there's a little bit softer side to me. I would say, but I don't think Trump should do that to any buddy who's involved with the assault of a child in no matter what form it is.
Or women.
Yeah, women.
I mean, what they got him for is prostitution, right? That's the official. That's what he actually got charged with.
Yep.
Or convicted of is like prostitution.
Yep.
Or, pimping, I guess.
What I heard that
buying prostitutes.
They're trying to get him in a RICO charge somehow, and once they get the racketeering, it's just like the magic word. I'll have to ask Sean about it. Just like all of a sudden the Red Sea parts up and people walk through and you get your guilty plea because you got that RICO case. But I'm not an attorney. I don't understand how all the links exactly work.
So just so we're on the same page, because you kind of got off on me there a little bit. So you're saying he should stay in jail?
Oh yeah, P. Diddy should never see the light of day, man. That's a sick dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He got 4 or 5 years or whatever, 3 years, I think. He needs to go do his 3 years. He got some time served. He won't have to be in there long. He needs to finish that out. We need to start making examples of these people. Quit being light-handed and make examples. Because all you're going to do is get out, and he's going to start bashing Trump. And the second that the media starts asking him how he feels about Trump, he's going to start bashing Trump again. You think he's going to support J.D. Vance in 28 because Trump let him out? No.
In speaking of examples in the justice system, there's a ton of them, but none greater than just what happened here in Mississippi this last week. You had that guy, that basketball coach at that school, get convicted of sexual assault.
Oh, in Clinton?
30 years.
Yeah.
Then you have the 26-year-old lesbian pastor coach up in DeSoto County do the exact same thing. What does she get? 3 years house probation or house arrest.
Yeah, so I had a video that went viral. I wasn't expecting it to over that. I think me and you were in here talking about it. It was just a clip of me ranting about it. But I said, I agree with his sentence. I just don't agree with hers. She should have gotten the same sentence.
Exactly.
We sit here and I talk about racism doesn't exist from white people. And I don't know that it was racism, but definitely some white privilege or proper family privilege. It was something.
Oh, they talked about how it was an affluent family. Russ Letourneau in Magnolia Tribune did a really good job breaking that down.
Yeah.
Much better to get the 16-minute kind of read. Because, there's files that they put out there, the school board, and how they tried to initially defend her in thinking this. And it just goes to show the culture rot has really impacted such a large segment of our society. Yet, at the same time, there's many people who are pushing back against this hot garbage. Hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, so, again, I can't remember if it was you and I talking about it. It's been a tornado of a week.
Yep.
But I guess they're saying now that the sentencing may have been illegal.
Yeah, I did read that they said that it might have violated the Mississippi statute because there's minimums there.
And also now because they crossed state lines, and this happened in multiple states, so then it's assault in these other states. And now the DA up there has made the DAs in these other areas aware. So she's going to have charges coming at her. She's going to jail somewhere.
Well, I hope she goes to jail somewhere. Never underestimate the power of this justice system to do.
Well, true enough.
But I hope she goes to jail. But
well, now other school board members are demanding that this other school board member step down. I've seen that.
They have that. They put out a 4-paragraph letter basically saying, we hope that she would just step down for the greater good of the kids and children, and she has not. And
apparently a school teacher also came out in support of her, and now she's having to deal with it. Yeah, here it is right here. I found it. I can't believe I found it as quick as I did here. Let's see if the internet will not crash trying to load it here. It says, this is from WREG up there in North Mississippi, Memphis area. It says, DeSoto teacher now under fire for supporting Whiteside. And for those who don't know, Whiteside is the lesbian pedophile that assaulted the girl at church there. It says a DeSoto County school teacher is on the hot seat for supporting convicted sexual offender Lindsay Whiteside. Ashley Ford, it's always an Ashley. Trashly Ashley. A teacher at Lewisburg Intermediate School is taking a leave of absence beginning Monday. No reason given. An email for parents from the principal at Lewisburg Intermediate stated, at this time, we wanted to ensure you were aware that Ms. Ford will be out for an undetermined amount of time beginning Monday, October 20th. The email went on to say, certified substitutes would be instructing Ford's class for the time being. This comes as protesters are demanding the removal of school board member Michelle Henley, who wrote a letter of support for Whiteside. On the same day, Whiteside pleaded guilty to sexual battery of a minor. Ford testifies in support of the former youth minister. Ford told the court she and Whiteside were very close and she didn't believe Whiteside was a criminal, even though she pled guilty to this. Pleads guilty. I didn't think she was a criminal. Well, that's a criminal.
Yeah, that's what
she did. She thought she was a criminal.
She admitted it under no duress in a court of law.
Yeah. So continuing on, quote, she's not going to hurt anybody. Well, she already did. Anyway, says this is not going to happen again. I do not condone what she did. However, she's not a threat to anyone in this community, Ford said in court. Concerned citizen Aubrey Johnson is outraged over what Whiteside admitted to, and angry educators like Ashley Ford supported her. Quote, that's a small battle. The victory is her resignation, and I'm not going to stop until she resigns, Johnson said. The parents with children in her class, they want her to resign. They don't trust her with their children, as they shouldn't. I wouldn't trust her with mine. The announcement of Ford's leave of absence comes as protesters call for the removal of Michelle Henley from the DeSoto County School Board. I want to say something real quick. I don't want to say what school yet because I'm going to have a conversation with them and try to give them an opportunity to remove this before I go public with it. But I took a tour of a school yesterday, of a phenomenal VOTEC facility or career training facility, way more than just VOTEC. But the two different classrooms that I saw on my tour, the entrance to one of them had a little rainbow flag, handmade little sign that said, "This is a safe space," on the entrance to the door. And then in one of the VOTEC classrooms, a trans flag hanging in the classroom.
Wow.
You know, and
in Mississippi.
In central Mississippi, right here in the Tri-County area. And it wasn't in Jackson. And I just say that to say our school system, our public school system, and Lindsey Beckham's been sending me some stuff about something going on in Madison. I just hadn't had a chance to read it all yet, but I kind of get the gist of it.
It's huge.
I got to check on that too. Our school system is ate up with woke liberal teachers.
Yep.
Even right here in central Mississippi. And I know there's some good ones because I get messages from them and I meet them out and about in public.
Yep.
So you guys, you great school teachers, you know I'm not talking about y'all. But these woke nut jobs, hanging a trans flag in your VOTEC class, hanging this is a gay safe space flag on the door into the classroom. Y'all are indoctrinating. This is grooming.
Yep.
Y'all are grooming children, whether you realize it or not. If I'm a parent, I'm outraged if my students are going to this school. Let's take a break, come back, and we can unpack this some more. You got Andrew Gosser here on the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back on WYAB. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. Streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube, and at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. Real quick, man, this segment brought to you by my friend, Mr. Brad Burleson, and UList Realty's brand new development, Hyde Park, right there just a block away from Brandon High School off Highway 18. His group has a brand new development, as I just said, in downtown Brandon. It's called Hyde Park. That's HYDE Park, with 3, 4, and 5 bedroom homes starting as low as $299,000. These are all brand new construction with builder incentives to help you save hundreds each month on your payment. Hey, and the best part about new construction is the warranties and peace of mind for repairs. Brad was telling me, not only does the rate buy down save you money, but homeowners insurance rates are much less with new construction homes too. Y'all get with Brad, find out about all the creative incentives they have come up with to get you approved for a new home. As rates continue to improve, now is the time to lock in. That's UList Realty, the letter U, listms.com. The letter U, ulistms.com is the website. Or just Google UList Realty or Google Hyde Park Brandon. It's right behind Polk's Drugs on Highway 18, right there on Star Brandon Road. You got the great Brandon school districts. The houses are filled with granite and quartz countertops, 2-car garages. They're energy efficient. And again, they've got builder incentives available. More house for less monthly payment. I took a tour of the houses the other day, Andrew, and they are gorgeous, man. You can't believe the square footage they've got on these smaller lots here. Yep. So you got low lot maintenance with grass. You don't have a whole lot of grass you got to worry about. They're kind of narrow, but they're long, and they a lot of moving, a lot of living space. The bedrooms are bigger than you would think. The master bedrooms are massive. They're actually master suites or primary suites, whatever people call them now. Stand-up showers, sit-down tubs, massive walk-in closets. These homes are gorgeous. I've never bought a home, and going through this, I was really had a conversation with them where we made some videos and stuff about how to buy a house. And if you're self-employed like me and you've never bought a home, what does the path to that look like? What do I need?
Yep.
And he gave me a lot of great information. I'm going to be working on getting all that out on the internet this week for people who have never bought a home before, and for people who are just not self-employed but regular employed.
Yep.
A lot of great information I got from Brad there, and he's such a great resource for that ton of information. So if y'all reach out to Brad, ulistms.com. That's ulistms.com, the letter U, or Google Hyde Park Brandon. Let's go to the Mazda Jackson phone call. I believe we got Josh sitting on hold. Hey, brother.
Hey, a little bit off topic, but still dealing with schools. I was just wondering, and maybe some of your listeners can help out, or legislatures or whatnot, on the school choice with 16th section land. How would the funds on that work?
Man, you sent me a text on that, and I have no clue. That whole conversation is above my pay grade, brother.
All right.
I will find out. I'll ask. I don't understand this. I know 16th section is school land, but as far as like the money and this, that, and the other,
right.
I have no clue.
I mean, think about it though. If all your students bail and other places accept them, but you still get money for schools from the leasing of your 16th section, I think it should follow, again, the students that you're sending elsewhere, don't you?
I don't want to say, man. I don't know because I can't quite wrap my head around what it is you're asking. So I'll have to look at it and give you a better answer. I don't want to just say yeah or no and not have an understanding of it.
All right. We'll holler at you.
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll give you a call and let's see if you can explain it to me in a little more layman terms.
Okay, will do. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, every now and then it's okay to just say I don't know.
Yep.
And when he's talking about 16 section land and leasing, I'm like, ah.
Rankin County schools do it all the time. They've got a bunch of property that they lease out to hunters, and they pay big money for that. And the school that goes back into the school district.
Yeah. But I don't know about why would that follow the student?
I don't know.
I'm trying to understand that part of that.
Yeah.
I understand 16 section land. People rent it all the time and they'll do like these 99-year leases and stuff. But again, above my pay grade. All right, let's see here, Andrew. What do we have to chat about this morning? You got anything you're hot to trot about?
Just these teachers are completely unhinged in Chicago. We talked about it here.
I shared that image of the one that was pretending to shoot Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
The neck thing.
She's a teacher, public school teacher, and we sit there and wonder why our kids are turning out the way they are. Well, look at the system and look what they're designed to do. It's just very logical progression of what's going on. It's not too late to turn it around, but my goodness, when I see what that lady's doing right there, it makes you really wonder how far humanity has fallen and how low it can truly go.
Well, let's see here. I got this image pulled up here of what she did there. So for the audience watching online, let me show them exactly what we're talking about here because everybody doesn't live on the internet quite like we do. Luckily.
That's a good thing.
Luckily, everybody's not as ate up as we are. But yeah, this typical fat, unfortunate. Yeah, that's what I call these people, Andrew, the unfortunates. Mm-hmm. They all look the same. They're all fat, uneffable slobs. You wouldn't take one of these home from Pops around the corner at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night after a bottle of Fireball and a bucket of beer. You wouldn't do it. You would not do it. There is none of these people that went to those No Kings protests or anybody that I would have had a drunk bump with. Now, I know you don't live your life like that, and I don't anymore. Yeah. But even back in my day, when I was known to have a drunk bump or two, I would have never, ever bumped anybody that looked like any of these No Kings protesters.
Nope, that's not in the discussion there. But I do have to say, do you have that video open?
What video?
Of that lady?
I just got the screenshot.
It's great because they actually have a Coors can that goes through the video frame. Perfect messaging. This is just complete debauchery, this whole thing. People sitting out there protesting, getting trashed, talking trash about us. I'm just... That's a situation that is going to take a lot more thought and a lot more action than just two guys talking on the radio right now can actually put forward. How does society repair itself from that? I mean, that lady, she's just always going to believe what she believes. It's actually heartbreaking. It's pretty sad.
No, it's a school teacher.
Yeah. sitting there thinking that it's okay to take a life, and that message that she's sending to all those kids that she's in front of every day.
Well, it's probably, but she has a trans flag hanging in her classroom, and I mean, those are definitely the people that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk, being able to put hands on your students every day, like not literal hands,
Yep.
but in their brains. They're the ones that they're normalizing this.
You know that the teachers' unions and everybody in Mississippi will say, well, that's not in Mississippi. That's not in Mississippi. I'd love to get some pictures of some high school classes where there is the trans flag, where there is the rainbow flag, where they are pushing that kind of stuff. Not because I want to sit there and make somebody look silly or foolish, but I just want to be able to go to these administrators and these school board members and say, look, you've got a real problem here, and you keep on pushing it off, but it's just continuing to grow, and the more you ignore it, the worse it's going to be. It's just like those credit card bills that you get in the mail, and you just think if you throw it in the file, it's going to go away someday. But it's there. It's going to eventually catch up with you.
We got this great little clip here from Fox News talking about this, the No King stuff.
Yep.
There was nothing organic about this. I believe, and I believe there's some evidence to back it up, that the whole government shutdown was plotted and planned just so everybody would be off work so they could, in fact, do this. There was a lot of senior citizens at this thing. I kind of defended the boomers last week.
Yeah.
And this thing was boomer-centric. What were they doing? They were cosplaying. I got one screenshot from a stream I was watching. I was really busy Saturday and Sunday doing like personal stuff, but I saw somebody dressed up and they were in all these weird costumes like Funyun bags and Cheeto bags, and like why were they cosplaying potato chips?
I am not in that culture. I would not know why they would cosplay potato chips, but they are live action role playing.
They're LARPing for sure.
And that's the main thing right there.
See, black people that don't like me listening this morning, so I hate white people like this a lot. Like, I really do. I hate white liberals, and this is me calling out the Pookies in my society. This is what I would like to see y'all do more of with the trash in your camp, is call them out. See, that's what we're doing right now. We're calling out the white trash pedophile thugs on our side right now that y'all claim I don't do this, but I do. And this is what we're doing right here this morning. So I wanted to stop and understand and explain to y'all that there wasn't not a single black person at this event nowhere in the country. They claimed 7 million people. It wasn't not even 2 million. No. They were even having to show videos from other big protests that were unrelated from years ago to try to make it look packed.
And to the media's point, what does that make them look like when we can sit there now? We've got the tools and technology to where you can pull up something from 3 years ago. Oh, they'll never figure it out. And within 15 seconds, you're like, this is from XYZ.
Yep.
And now that makes the story. So now you're even more illegitimate than you were just 5 minutes ago.
We're going to play this 1.5-minute clip here, and we're going to go straight to break when it ends, and we'll unpack it on the other side of the break with Andrew Gosser.
So, Jesse, there were two different factions of protesters. We had the one faction who had no idea why they were there, no idea why they were protesting. They were simply programmed by CNN or whatever liberal mainstream media they've been listening to, and they were there. You had the other faction of protesters who were there to call for political violence against their opposition. So I read signs reading, all Nazis go to hell. And of course, it was MAGA supporters and it was ICE that were depicted as said Nazis. You also had a woman holding a sign depicting a guillotine with a single MAGA hat on the bottom. So very clear that these people were either unaware of why they were marching, or they were marching on behalf of illegal immigrants and domestic terrorist organization Antifa. Another thing that I witnessed was people holding up signs with AOC, Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani, and Gavin Newsom's face with big bold letters reading Antifa. So I don't know if they were trying to tell the truth about the Democratic Party or if they're trying to water down what Antifa truly is, which is a violent domestic terrorist organization. So that's what I saw on the ground. Another thing too, Jesse, which I thought was really interesting, is initially in New York, that's where I was. You had thousands of people that were there. So yes, there was quite a large crowd. But then as soon as 1-2 hours passed by, the entire crowd completely dissipated, kind of like they were off the clock and they all just disappeared. It was really baffling to me because I have covered protests extensively for years at this point, and I have never seen a protest dissipate this fast.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. We'll be right back to unpack that and more. This is the Clay Edwards Show with Andrew Gosser. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on a WYAB 103.9 FM, soon to be 50,000 watts.
Big.
50K. Clay 50K. Andrew 50K. Gasser 50K. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. All gasser, no brakes. Are you not using that?
No, I'm not.
Oh, come on, man. That's $1 million right there. All gasser, no brakes. That should be the name of the show, son. All gasser, no brakes. I say all gas, no brakes all the time. Yeah, I'm giving you permission here. That's $1 million. That's your T-shirt. That's the catchphrase for the show. The Andrew Gosser Show. All gasser, no brakes. Welcome back in. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Guns and Gear, located right there, Highway 51 North, Gluckstadt, Mississippi. I'm going to be swinging by there today or tomorrow myself to pick up a little shump. I can't tell you what, but I'm picking me up a little something for these haters. So if there's a, I need a non-lethal option for idiots. So I'm swinging by to pick me up something non-lethal. I got a lethal option. Hell, I had my pistol in my pocket the other night when that whole thing went down, but I didn't necessarily deem the guy a threat. At least didn't feel it was worth, Andrew, I say this all the time. Y'all check out Guns and Gear, website gunsandgearms.com, the letter N, gunsandgearms.co, not .com, .co, or stop by, see them in person, Highway 51 North, Gluckstadt, Mississippi, right there at Yandell Road. Andrew, look, I'm a firm believer in if you're going to shoot somebody, it has got to be an absolute life or death situation.
Once you make that decision, you're going to shoot. You're going down a path that.
And I don't believe that every confrontation is a life or death situation. I know they can be. I get it. I know they can be, but I don't think that every situation is that. I think sometimes you may just have to fight. You may just have to get your butt whooped. Or you may just have to give a butt whooping. Whatever the case may be, I don't think every situation one-on-one is worthy of shooting somebody. Now, 2 guys roll up on me, 3 guys roll up on me. If I only got 1 bullet, y'all going to have to figure out which one of y'all
is going to eat it.
Which one of y'all going to eat it. Exactly. I mean, you want to play Russian roulette? Because that's what you're going to be playing there. And that's just that. But as people talk about, they're going to roll up on me with a truckload of thugs. Well, all those thugs ain't going home.
Nope.
And I mean, I may not either, but the whole truckload ain't either if y'all roll up on me like that. But I don't know, Andrew. I think there's a time and a place for lethal response. I don't think the other night was it, obviously, because that's not how it ended. But I do think that situations like that are always a time and a place for a non-lethal response.
Yep.
Bear spray, something,
The thing that, and again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how this works, but you and I are walking down a public sidewalk, and you start badgering me, and I finally have had enough, so I break out the bear spray. It just seems like I'm going to end up being the one going in front of the man because...
Well, yeah, but there's a point, too, where harassment crosses a line.
I agree.
Like, if I'm going to get harassed every time I leave my house, and they say it's by the same person, well, eventually, you're going to have to fight back. You're going to have to give a little bit. So, I mean, if you violate my space and you have a phone in my camera, you're not the media.
Nope.
You know what I mean? You're not. You can get sprayed. Now, would I do it in Jackson? No, because Hinds County criminal justice system is never going to show Clay Edwards any favor. But you're not going to catch me. You ain't going to catch me slipping in Jackson.
No. And that's scary in and of itself, too, is that we know as simply as being in Rankin County versus being in Jackson County.
Hinds County.
Or Hinds County, excuse me. You're going to get a very different judicial experience, system experience.
But if you even get out of my biggest fear is being deposited into the Hinds County jail.
Yep.
It's not the criminal justice system thereafter. It is, do I survive to get to bond?
Yep.
I mean, if they threw me in one of those holding cells, it'd be like dropping a piece of fresh meat in a piranha tank.
it wouldn't be good for Clay Edwards or for Andrew Gossett for that matter.
Yeah, well, they don't hate you quite like they do me,
Nope.
just because they don't know you yet. They ain't,
The hatred is real there with you, Clay. But at the other point of it too is I drive around. I'm in Terry,
yeah.
and I'll see the FAFO stickers on the back of cars, and people will say, they'll recognize me, and they're like, "Hey, do you know Clay?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
So, I mean, I got more messages the other night from people that I do not know. Mm-hmm. At 2 a.m, 3 a.m, man, I saw that video and I just wanted to reach out. And it was good. And I told people, it is nice every now and then to hear from strangers. Everybody says they support you, this, that, and the other. But it always seems like the crazy people are the ones that reach out. And that's just like bad reviews and anything else. Mm-hmm. It's the angry, crazy people that reach out the most. I know people support me. I know I got a lot of love out there, and I do appreciate the people. And there's plenty of people who say all the time, "Man, if you need security, you need anybody, I got you." But I just never want to be able to admit that I need security.
Yep.
I'm not, I ain't there, man. Like, to me, that's another level of fame and stardom. And to me, it just ain't that serious. Now, do I have situational awareness and understand that if I go some places, I need to have some people with me, so I'm not just out, get caught by myself. The gas station ain't it. Mm-mm. Like, you're not gonna scare me into not going to the gas station anymore, to not going out to eat, to stuff like that. Now, if I go to a big music festival or a big event or something, I want to make sure I got my boys with me, but I wouldn't call them security.
No.
But you're just not going to catch me outnumbered. So I don't know. I'm not at that phase. I mean, do I understand that I do have a certain level of fame or infamy or whatever you want, notoriety, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I got 21 million views on my Facebook page the last 28 days alone.
Yep.
I mean, and most of them are on videos of my face. So I know that people know who I am and whatnot, and people think what they think, and that's fine. I mean, I'm a big boy, and when you do incendiary content, and that's your fight, you're a firebrand like this, you're going to have polarizing opinions. Polarizing is good and bad.
You have two sides of it. But the thing about it is we need more people like this.
We do.
Because the truth of the matter is our society has been so watered down to where we can't say anything that is offensive. We can't say anything that corrects somebody. Because if you correct them and they take offense to it, now that's a whole other issue. And basically, the United States has turned into a bunch of wimps who are walking around complaining about being offended by everybody else, who won't give you any real solutions to anything. They'll just give you sound bites and slogans and then expect us to be happy. It's ridiculous.
And I'm never going to be happy with that. What time? We got about 2 minutes left here. I've got the word salad. I said we would play Kamala Harris word salad. I really want to get Kamala Harris word salad in real quick if I got time. Come on. Where you at? Here we are right here. It's 25 seconds. We got time. Let me pull this up real quick. And we'll go to our break on this with Andrew Gossett here in the studio. Here's Kamala Harris, the word salad of the day. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet of word salad.
Hope is an interesting thing. It's something that is ours to have, but it can't be taken from us. We can't let our hope be taken from us. It's something that comes from inside of us that we have. And when we look around and see each other and we know that this fight is worth it, that gives me hope.
What I love there are like the intellectuals in the audience that really don't know what she's saying, going, I feel that, but I don't know what it said. We'll be right back with Andrew Gossett here on The Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Real quick, man, y'all go grab lunch today at either El Potrillo Mexican Grill and Cantina location, whether it's Cross Gates, Brandon, or Flowwood at Dogwood. Man, try some of those great fajitas. And if your work permits, enjoy a frozen margarita out there on the patio. This is patio weather at a Mexican restaurant. If there was ever patio weather at a Mexican restaurant, it's today. It's this week. It's the time we're living in right now, this next few weeks before it gets cold here in central Mississippi. Swing by, let them know Clay sent you. Real quick, man, before we get out of here, I got a great review on my website, on my Facebook page yesterday that I wanted to read. You can't buy this kind of, when you want the liberals to hate you, You can't buy this kind of advertising. This is from Martin A. Acosta. He says, racist against African Americans, xenophobic, pro-ICE, racist, Trump nationalist, makes himself look big with his FAFO Grand Championship belt gimmick to compensate for something. Didn't clarify that Charlie Kirk's assassin shared right-wing ideology just as this guy pretty much does. If you want to see a weak man with hate and nonsense opinions with another podcast in front of a huge American flag, here's a dime a dozen. Anyone of sound mind can tell his followers are white supremacists. Gotta love it. See y'all tomorrow.